Blessings, namaste, and love, everyone. I'm spiritualist, psychic, astrologer, and medium Ray Sette. As always, I am grateful for you to allow me this opportunity to share with you my astrological and spiritual insights. We are quickly wrapping up the holiday season and yet another extraordinary and unprecedented year, and we're getting ready to begin another yet unparalleled time of our human evolution. We will begin 2022 with a new moon on January 2nd. In my last video, I expressed and shared with you the insights of the opportunities to really create and plant the seeds for our goals for 2022, specifically with the moment of the winter solstice. And if for whatever reason you are unable to embrace that opportunity, we do have a few more opportunities to really plant some very powerful seeds of creation as we begin 2022. Our new moon, the next new moon, will be on January 2nd, and the exact time of that new moon is 1:33 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And as always, I also touch upon the balsamic moon phase, which is the very last stage phase of the lunar cycle. And as I've stated, it's the opportunity to prepare ourselves to energetically clear away whatever may no longer serve a purpose for us, so that we may begin the next lunar cycle with a clear slate. And the balsamic moon phase will be on December 30th, and that begins at 8:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. As I said, that is the auspicious opportunity to energetically prepare for the coming lunar cycle, which begins on the new moon. And our next new moon is January 2nd, 2022 at 1:33 p.m. And it is in the sign of Capricorn. Our new moon in January, at the beginning of January, is in the sign of Capricorn. It's at almost 12.5 degrees of Capricorn. Capricorn is the one that connects with and represents our career, our profession, our path, our purpose, our destiny, as well as our long-term goals. So certainly this new moon on January 2nd is another opportunity to plant the seeds in motion for the goals for 2022, as well as long-term goals, because it is in the sign of Capricorn. Also, too, Capricorn, as I said, represents our career, our profession, but I also equate it to our path, our purpose, and our destiny. Capricorn resides at the highest point of the natural zodiac. That's the 10th house. It's the highest point. It also represents, because it's at the highest point of the chart, our greatest goals and achievements, our highest achievements. So if you are unclear with what that might be for you personally, that balsamic moon phase, that's a time to clear away all that and ask to receive the clarity. Also, if you are endeavoring towards career changes, professional changes, especially those changes which may be dramatic. You know, some of us during certain times of our lives, we do have the experience of embracing a dramatic change in with our profession. I certainly had that experience in 2025 when I began this most unconventional journey. So what I would suggest is, if you are endeavoring towards embracing a new career, whether it's a dramatic change or in a similar profession, use that balsamic moon phase to prepare yourself and become very clear with what that might be and how that might play itself out for you. And on the new moon, if you're seeking new employment, send out as many resumes as you possibly can. There will be another opportunity that I will speak upon that's even more powerful as we go through January, but that's just a suggestion. As always, we only suggest for the new moon on January 2nd. Now, we are approaching our next Mercury retrograde phase, and as I've painstakingly expressed during many occasions, all planetary phenomena presents opportunities for us to embrace, even a Mercury retrograde. Let me first give you the dates. Mercury will begin its retrograde phase on January 14th at 6:41 a.m. It will move retrograde at 10 degrees of Aquarius. It will remain retrograde and move direct on February 4th. And as I've said, not until Mercury moves past the point at which it moved retrograde are we completely out of the retrograde influences, and that date is February 24th. As I've said, the Mercury retrograde, during Mercury retrograde, we embrace the RE words. We remember, we reconnect, we rewrite, we review. All the RE words are how we embrace the greatest potential of a Mercury retrograde. Also, many aren't familiar that the Mercury retrograde is also a time to receive. Because we are stepping back, we are in receptive mode, and we receive all the blessings of the intentions that we have set in motion. And in the sign of Aquarius, Aquarius is what is referred to as the higher octave of Mercury. Just like Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, Pluto is the higher octave of Mars. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, is the higher octave of Mercury. In the sun, what that states, very simply illustrated, is that Mercury, because it's the planet of the mind, when it's in the sign of Aquarius or it connects with Uranus, we have the ability more so than ever to tap into genius thinking and the opportunity to receive extraordinary solutions to whatever it is that might be challenging us. And certainly the experience it's very beneficial when we conduct the thinking process in a place of meditation. Remember, meditation provides the opportunity to quiet and clear the mind. When we quiet and we clear our mind, that is when spirit shares with us its knowing. When the mind is riddled with the cacophony of the outside world, we do not have the opportunity to clearly receive what spirit would like to share with us. So dedicate as much time as possible to quieting the mind. You know, it was the great Jose Silva who created the meditation program, the Silva Method, who suggested for us to employ meditation in every day, at least once a day. He stated that one time a day for 5 minutes a day is certainly good. Twice a day is very good, and 3 times a day experiencing meditation is excellent. And meditation does not require hours and hours of time. 5, 10, or 15 minutes, when meditation is conducted efficiently and effectively, is certainly quite optimum. 5 minutes is good, 10 minutes is better, 15 minutes is excellent. So we don't really need to dedicate hours and hours of our day to enjoy the benefits of meditation. Only a few minutes a day of dedicated and disciplined meditation certainly is favorable. And if there is a health challenge, what we suggest is 3 times a day, 15 minutes a day, to quiet the mind and to go into that state. Remember, when the body sleeps is when the body heals. And when we are in a place of meditation, the mind is at that same frequency, stimulating and energizing the body's natural ability to heal itself. All these unconventional understandings are very much part of Mercury in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of unconventionality, of genius thinking, the potential to think outside the box. When Mercury travels through the sign of retrograde, it is the most favorable opportunity to embrace genius thinking and receive extraordinary solutions to whatever it is that may challenge you. So you see how we rethink our understanding of the Mercury retrograde phase and really employ its blessings and its opportunity. We have another opportunity to plant the seeds of ambitious long-term goals on January 16th. On January 16th, the Sun and Pluto will come together, as does the Sun and the Moon at a new moon. Whenever two elements come together as the Sun and Moon are so on a new moon, it begins a new cycle of experience. So on January 16th, the Sun and Pluto will be coming together in the sign of Capricorn, which is, as I said, it is the one that indicates our long-term goals, our career, our profession. That moment, and it's January 16th at 9:50 a.m., and whenever I indicate times of day, I'm referring to Eastern Standard Time. January 16th, 9:50 a.m., another auspicious opportunity to plant the seeds in motion for long-term and ambitious goals and desires. Done so in a place of meditation. Perhaps if it resonates with you, perhaps light a candle. I would suggest with long-term goals and desires, perhaps lighting a red candle. Other color candles are specific to whatever elements are connected to certain colors. You might want to do the research on that, but also to whatever resonates for you. You know, there's really no right and wrong. You know, there are certain understandings to some of these modalities, but I always express and inspire us to really just embrace whatever we feel connected to, even if it might be wrong for somebody else. Remember, there really is no right and wrong. It's what serves a greater purpose for you, and for you to recognize what resonates with you. Employ that resonation, and certainly keep yourself grounded, clear, and very, very peaceful. On January 17th, we have our next full moon, and the exact time of the full moon is 6:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the moon is in the sign of Cancer. You know, when the moon travels the sign of Cancer, because Cancer connects with, among many things, our emotions. With a full moon in the sign of Cancer, we may find that emotions do become quite elevated around the time of the full moon, especially the day before, the day of, and the day after the new moon. Cancer also represents our home environment. So certainly this full moon is an opportunity to really review what's going on energetically in your home, and also release any discordant energies which may be residing in your home as well. Remember, the full moon is also a time to clear, cleanse, and release what no longer serves the purpose. As I touched upon in my last video, that the winter time frame really is the more favorable, auspicious opportunity for spring clearing. It's a time to go very deep within and clear away those cobwebs. So this full moon in Cancer, connected to the energy or the representation of our home, our emotion, it's an auspicious opportunity to clear away perhaps deep-seated emotions which no longer serve the purpose. We also might find we have the experience that those deep-seated emotions are coming to the surface, so that they can be cleared, cleansed, purged, and released, so that we might welcome new levels of experience. On January 18th, Uranus will move direct. Uranus has been retrograde since June. I may be mistaken on that, but I believe it's been retrograde since June. Uranus being the one that most represents awareness, awakenings. As Uranus moves direct, allow yourself to receive many revelations, if you will, because Uranus also connects with revelations about yourself, your own path, your own purpose. Whenever an element is retrograde, as I said, it's a time to go within. So the Uranus retrograde is a time for us to really reflect on whatever may not permit us to become fully aware of our being and our purpose. Sometimes the experience of receiving an awareness is preceded by great change, especially if the awareness being received will inspire you to know the greatness of yourself. The lower vibrational frequencies do not want you to really embrace that knowing, so we inadvertently have an experience of chaos that always endeavors and attempts at derailing us from becoming clear of the awakenings at hand. So as Uranus moves direct and continue moves direct, just allow yourself to become acutely aware of your own path, your own purpose, your destiny, and your being, as well as becoming very much awakened to all that is unfolding from a higher level regarding the experiences and situations of the outside world. Now, on January 19th at 9:39 p.m., the Sun transits a sign of Aquarius. Again, that which represents great awakenings, awareness, great change, revolutions. When the Sun transits the sign of Aquarius, it is a time to embrace these auspicious elements that fortify great and beneficial change for the highest good of all concerned. It's another opportunity, as I said, to think abstractly, to recognize your own personal, unique ability to tap into genius thinking. Remember, every one of us is a genius. When we think of genius, we think of individuals like Albert Einstein, inventors, Nikolai Tesla. But every one of us has the potential to tap into genius thinking, and those demonstrations are very personal and very unique to every one of us. Remember, I don't know, I'm not recalling who it was that made this statement that just because a fish can't fly doesn't mean that it doesn't have intelligence. Every one of us has the ability to really tap into extraordinary levels of intelligence. We're just not taught how to recognize that. And one of the most powerful tools that allow us to really have those experiences is meditation. And again, to tap into those levels of thinking, we must quiet the mind, personally, as well as the cacophony that we sometimes are overwhelmed with from the outside world. Lastly, on January 29th, Venus, who has been retrograde since either November or December, will move direct. It's been in the sign of Capricorn. Whenever Venus is retrograde, and Venus retrograde occurs about every 2 years, it's a time for us to reflect and review our relationships, especially long-term relationships. The Venus retrograde is not a favorable opportunity to begin a long-term relationship, whether it be romantically or otherwise. It's a time to review the experience of the relationships, and because it's in the sign of Capricorn, it's a time to review your joint long-term goals, and once it moves direct, plant those seeds in motion. So once again, I am spiritualist, psychic, astrologer, and medium Sette. I am very grateful for this opportunity to share with you my astrological and spiritual insights as we begin yet another extraordinary year. I will continue sharing as often as I can my insights in whatever platform is available to all of us. And until we meet and speak again, as always, remain in the light and forever in a place of love. Namaste and many blessings, everyone.